everyone in this group would expect that we'd be in the playoffs somewhere. Where we end up now, we'll see. But there's obviously some really good teams in the West. Seattle and LA in particular, with the points they've gathered up. They've had unbelievable seasons. I'm not quite sure where the whole league is, but I think we might finish top 5 in points again, or 5th or something like that, 4th or 5th. And so I think it's sometimes overlooked. And I just think sports fans in general, we don't like consistency. We like to see the flair of the unknown, something different, which is completely understandable. But yeah, I think this group's been, just very, very consistent over the past 6 or 7 years, and we'll see how it goes in the playoffs now. We know we're going to line up with one of the big boys, but we know we can play with them, and we know we can be successful. Going into the season, it's not just Jeff, it's a completely new staff that he has, so it's a lot of new faces on the coaching staff. And I think that their biggest goal this offseason was to keep things as constant as they could. I think we probably made less changes to the group than we have in any other year since I've been here, and we've probably made less changes than any other teams in the league as well. And so I think when you have a veteran core like that, you can lean on those guys. And like I said, when you go through rough patches in this league, it's that group of guys that you can roll out week in and week out and have confidence that these guys are going to get you points going forward. And so, like I said, we've had a consistent group here. We've been consistent with our play, and like you said, we're kind of right where we've always been a little bit. And so it's just a bit more of the same for us. Like I said, we kind of always find ourselves in this position a little bit. Obviously there's the danger of the playing game, but we kind of always find ourselves in a position where our supporter shield's a little bit out of reach. And so we have these last handful of games where we're jockeying for position a little bit, but ultimately we know this season is about to start. And so now that, this game is over, I think the thought process is literally that the flip just, the flip just switches, and we think to ourselves, the season's beginning now. And so I think we all collectively feel that in this locker room, that, the important time has come now. We'd be fooling ourselves if we said we didn't want the 3 seed. It's just, you're gonna have to play another game. It's just another chance that a team can come in here and be successful and knock you off. But in saying that, if we're in that game, I don't think the focus changes at all. We've won plenty of games, plenty of playoff games and big games. And so if we ultimately end up in that game, it is what it is. And we'll approach, that game when it comes time. But for us, like I said, at this point, we've gathered up a lot of points. There's just some other really good teams that are playing well also. And so for us, I think if we have to play in that game, I don't see this team, being fazed by that at all. Hopefully we pick up a win in that game and gain some confidence going forward. And we stay here. We're not traveling back and forth, so we'll be playing here. We'll be staying here for the next game as well. And so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if that's what ends up happening.
Register now for the 2015 season ticket waiting list at realsaltlake.com.